Welcome to the Deadlifts and Pizza podcast, where we discuss no BS fitness and nutrition.
We're your hosts. I'm Laura.
And I'm Jaime.
Let's get into it.
Hello, Laura. How's it going?
Hi. Good.
How's your HRV training? Your heart rate variability training? Are you still using that thing pretty religiously?
I am. I love it. I had a good workout this morning. It felt good, but I changed it. I changed it because I don't know if my max heart rate is as high as I said it was, because I feel like I can't get it into the red. So
really, how high does it go?
200 was what I put.
And how high have you been able to get it?
170 is maybe the max I've gone up to. And that was the day where I was like, it was like, I felt like I was like dying when I was running in the snow. But like today I was on the treadmill and I did like 30-second intervals. And, so I would get into the green. Now that I lowered my heart rate, that brought me into the green, but I don't know if I'm in the green. I don't know. It's very hard to like make sure I'm in the right spot. So like it's dynamic.
So the colors are
blue, green, and red.
The colors are blue, green, red?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're dynamic, meaning that, normally your heart rate zones have to do with your max, right? So like a certain percentage is going to be zone 2, certain percentage is zone 3, blah, 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 right? Whereas this is not like that. So it depends on what my recovery was in the morning. So sometimes being in like 160, I have to get it up past 160 to be into the green when I had it at 200. Sometimes it would be like 155. Like today it was like 151 because I lowered it to 195. So I was getting up into there a little bit easier.
Interesting. So it adjusts what the heart rate zone is based on your HRV.
Kind of. It's based on so there's an HRV score and there's a recovery score, and it's more on the recovery, and I don't know how it figures that out. So the recovery is like today my recovery was in the 80s, so it's high. So it's going to be a higher, like I have to push it higher to be in the green. But when I'm like have really bad recovery, it'll make the zones lower because I don't need as much to get into that. Like you don't need you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So is the recovery score related to the HRV score? I would assume that they're similar.
It doesn't correlate. So like I can have a higher HRV day, but my recovery will be lower. And I don't know why.
A higher HRV is good.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't correlate. So if my HRV is at a really high, that doesn't mean my recovery percentage is going to be very high.
That's interesting. I wonder then what it's based on.
It's based on that, but also like your sleep and what you did the day before. I don't really know, because it asks you questions. So it asks you like how your sleep was, how you're feeling, how your sleep quality. So how many hours your sleep quality, how you're feeling, and if you're sore. Those are the questions it asks.
Interesting.
It's supposed to link to my Fitbit, but it doesn't seem to sync. So I always end up just putting it in. And then it will do the test, and I don't know. And it tests your resting heart rate. So that's probably in there too.
Yeah, that probably.
Yeah.
I'd like to read more about, so I was reading more about, I was trying to understand all the difference between like VO2 Max. Well, obviously VO2 Max is different than HRV, but like what exactly is HRV compared to heart rate? Because I know heart rate variability, it's like the variability between the beats.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to understand like exactly the difference between like, well, what, like, how are all these things different, right? So VO2 Max is like the maximum amount of oxygen that your body can actually use during exercise. So this is kind of like your engine size. And VO2 Max can be tested, but it's not something that is easy to test, right? It's something that usually you have to go into like a lab and you have to push yourself into a certain zone to really be able to like test all of that. But VO2 Max is very closely related to HRV, and HRV is actually easy to test and like self-track, right? Via these like trackers, the one that you have and everything. So like you have your heartbeat. So that's like how many beats per minute. So your heart rate, right? Not your heartbeat, your heart rate is how many beats per minute. But what I think is interesting is the heart rate variability is like how much space is in between each of those beats. So instead of it being like, if you have 60 beats per minute, then it's 1 beat every second. Well, that's not actually how your heart works. It's like it might have, 2 beats in a second and then like a half a beat in 1 second. Yeah. And the more variability there is in between the heartbeats, the better it is actually, because it's your body constantly like kind of like adjusting like your like recovery and where your heart rate needs to be. It's your body constantly adjusting your heart rate essentially. And a good analogy is like your heart rate is like the drummer playing and how fast the drummer's playing, right? But they're hitting the beat every time. Heart rate variability is more like how creatively is the drummer like adjusting to the rhythm? Like can we get on a new rhythm real quick if the rhythm's constantly changing, right? And so I find that really interesting. So it's like if you have a really responsive like adaptive heart rate that it's like adapting very quickly, that's like a high HRV, a high variability between the beats, and that's a good thing because you want that variability. But and that having a higher HRV is closely related to having a higher VO2 max. So you can assume if you have a better heart rate variability overall, you can assume that you have better VO2 max as well. But where I'm curious about is like, okay, so how I'm curious with like your device, how your recovery, because typically HRV is kind of like an indication of your recovery overall, because your HRV will also, you might not have as much variability between your heartbeats if everything else, like if you slept crappy or if you trained too hard the day before, your HRV will be down. And so I was kind of under the impression that your HRV kind of adapts based on all of those other stressors. So I'm curious how, even if you have a high HRV, why would your recovery score be lower? Like I'm still learning and I'm curious about
Yeah, and
that.
there is an explanation, I think, in the app somewhere, and I'll find
Yeah,
it
I'm
because
sure there
and I'll
is.
read it because he does explain that somewhere of why they're not fully correlated, but overall they'll be correlated. So it's like if you are training really hard and like to the right stress, like not so far
Right.
that you're like always like your recovery is always tanking, but if you're in like that good recovery and you're training, you can because when you do like aerobic training and stuff, it actually like increases your recovery score. So like doing things like that over time should increase your HRV and should increase your ability to handle stress so that your recovery score would be higher. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's funny because when I think of old me, who was like, I've always been into fitness and all this stuff, and I think of old me and like how many times I have barreled through workouts, regardless of sleep, regardless of anything else that's going on, or like, and then even more recently in the last however many years adding in cardio and like actually caring about cardio and actually cardiovascular training. And you think about, well, I don't currently track my HRV, but right, I'm going to get a thing, right? I keep saying I'm going to buy one, and I'm going to start tracking it. But just like being more aware of all of these different measures, you think about how many times and probably how much so many people just barrel through when their body is really like not recovering well or not adapting well to the stressors we're putting on it.
Yeah, I just thought of something too. I think it also has to do with where your average is. So it's not just like the higher, the better, whatever. It's more like over time you want it to get higher, right? But when it comes to like today, what your HRV is, I think it has to do with your average. So say your average is 65 and today it's like 75 or some really high number that's off, right? And I don't know what that does to the recovery score, but I think it's also like comparing it to where you normally are, like your baseline, because everybody's different. And I also think HRV has to do like, obviously, like I said, you can improve it with training and things, but it also has to do with like your genetics. Some people are just going to have higher ones and lower ones. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting too because like where VO2 max and like resting heart rate are overall kind of bigger. They don't fluctuate day to day necessarily. Maybe heart rate a little bit more, but like there's things. But HRV is something that fluctuates day to day in direct response to stressors and recovery. So you can have a great HRV one day because you're recovering very well, and you can have a shitty one another day because of a stressor you put on. And it's generally lower after lifting heavy too, like 24 to 48 hours after it can be lower.
My resting heart rate changes too based on like what I did the day before or how I'm feeling. So, in stress and things. So like over the weekend, it was 56, 57, which was like really low, right? It's not normally that low, but that was like last week I was I was taking it easy, and I noticed my resting heart rate was a lot lower. Then once I start like picking up, it goes back up to like 59, 60. It's only a little bit difference, but I can definitely see it like on the days where I train really hard. My resting heart rate isn't always as low. It gets really low when I'm like calm, like not a lot going on. Yeah.
Are you starting to see patterns in when your app or whatever is telling you like, okay, your recovery is not so great, you don't need to train as hard today? Like, are you seeing patterns comparatively to like maybe what you did the day before or any of that? Is it like, oh, after strength training it's usually this, or oh, like any kind of patterns you're noticing?
No, and that's it, but it's also like, honestly, I've only had a couple of days where it was low, and it was what days I didn't get very good sleep.
Okay, that's a pattern.
Yeah, but like training wise, no, like only one time where I was like, I trained really, really hard that day, and the next day it was a little bit lower, but I haven't had any like super low recovery days, or recovery percentages come up. I'm pretty good.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So excited to get mine.
Are you gonna get the same?
Yet.
Are you gonna get the same one I get?
I don't know yet. I'm thinking about getting one called Polar.
Okay.
So these are generally, just people listening, they're just heart rate monitors, but they're chest straps, but they also track not just your heart rate. It's like your HRV and your recovery. And I just been down the Reddit rabbit hole, and there's a lot of people that like the one. What do you have? What is it called? Morpheus?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that like that one, but there's also a lot of people that are like, it's just not as good as the things that are already have been out there for a long time, and it's glitchy and all this stuff. And Polar 10 or Polar 9 or whatever are like the gold standard of blah blah blah. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna get the gold standard. And so I don't know.
I like it.
And then I get stuck in analysis paralysis, and then I don't look at Amazon for a week, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'd have it by now if I had.
We're the same way. I do the same thing. Like if I'm going to spend money, I'm like, it's got to be the good thing. Like I got to get the right thing. I don't want to make the mistake and get the wrong thing. But I also
don't.
like the one time when you were like, but then I have to wait for a week. That's going to make me not want to. Me too. Even though I would have had it already. It was just like, we're the same. Speaking of VO2 Max,
look at that. You're welcome.
Yeah, it really transitions. Have you heard of their Norwegian 4x4?
No.
Okay. So
woohoo!
I've seen this a lot.
Wait,
recently.
Somebody just asked me about that. Tell me what it is. Let me see if it's the same thing as I remember.
So I heard this like a while ago, but I just keep seeing things about it, and it just reminds me to talk about it because it's kind of insane. Okay. So the Norwegian 4x4 is a HIIT. It's a version of HIIT, right? And it's supposed to rapidly increase your VO2 max. So there's studies on it that shows that it increases your VO2 max pretty much more than anything else, which makes sense because it's insane. Like I don't know who does this regularly, but if they do, God bless them, because I don't even want to do this once. But how it works is you're supposed to do 4 minutes of intense exercise. 4 minutes at 85 to 90% of your heart rate.
No,
4 minutes of that.
Somebody asked me something. It must not have been that because it wasn't 4 minutes. It was more like, maybe it was. They asked me about the Norwegian 4x4. I think it was a client call, and she explained what it was, and I was like, I mean, you won't be able to get that high for 4 minutes.
No, 4 minutes.
I was like, it sounds like a good interval workout, but you won't be able to get that high for 4 minutes. So you'll just be doing.
That's the thing. I don't think most people would be doing it correctly. But if you did it correctly,
they
like in
literally
the study, they did it incorrectly.
Because I was like, in the study, they did it incorrectly?
Yeah, or they did it correctly. Obviously, if they studied it, right? So
I thought you said incorrectly.
No, sorry.
I don't know how you could be at 90% of your max heart rate for 4 minutes.
I know. That's insane.
So she's probably going to listen to this. She listens to all the podcasts.
Okay.
She literally asked me about, what do you think of this? And I looked at it, and because what's the other 4? Finish what it is.
Okay, so it's 4 minutes of intense exercise, 85 to 90% of your heart rate. So basically zone 5, right? And then you take a 3-minute recovery, which like a good way to do this would be on an assault bike, right? So you're going to go as fast as you can on the assault bike, basically as fast as you can. It like basically the protocol is to do it as like max intense as you can for that 4 minutes, right? And then where you can sustain it, which I don't think you can sustain it, but whatever.
Right.
And then you recover for 3 minutes. So then you're going to go really slow. So you're not going to completely stop. You're just going to go slow for 3 minutes, and then you're going to do that 4 times total. So 4
But
by
it's
4.
4x4, but
4 times
4
total.
times.
So you take like 28 minutes of that.
Yeah, she did ask me about this. No wonder it sounds familiar. And she laid out what it was, and she was like, "What do you think? What do you think about this for HIIT?" And my response was like, "Well, it's not really HIIT." I was like, because you can't actually get your heart rate into that zone for 4 whole minutes.
Apparently.
I was like, so you wouldn't be able. I was like, it sounds like a good interval cardio.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting. How do you literally get your heart rate
to stay there for that? Like honestly,
you can't even get it there, period, let alone stay there for 4 minutes.
So I was thinking about like, this reminds me of like, one of the reasons I don't like Instagram, right? And just the fitness industry in general, because you have people like to follow extremes, right? And you have a couple extremes. So on the one extreme, you have the trainers that are, and the people that talk about fitness that are very fluffy and, you know, a little bit on the softer side, and they drive me crazy because it's like, no, it's not your fault. Like I would like to call them like Chat GPT trainers, because if you ever talk to Chat GPT, where it's
Let me
like,
build you up.
like it's constantly telling me, like, I'll ask it a question and it'll be like, you're not failing, you're this, it's not this, you're this in disguise. I don't know, it'll just like say all this random
I
things.
felt those things.
And I know.
I sometimes I look at chat and I'm
just
like, what? I didn't say that. I don't feel that way. You're not broken,
now I do.
Jamie. I'm
No.
like, okay.
I actually don't even like talking to it anymore because of that. It's like, I can't handle you. I can't handle the fakeness. Stop it.
You're fake. You're being fake. You just want me to like you.
I don't need a pep talk right now, and it feels inauthentic.
You're
even
asking
though you're
all
not
the right
real,
questions,
and
Laura.
you have no brain.
This is exactly the way you should be thinking about this, and it's super common.
You're a super mom. Blah, blah, blah. Like, stop it. Just answer my damn question. Anyway, so,
do you know, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you know if you tell it how you want to be answered? I will say, please no fluff. Do not, I just want bullet points. I don't want an introduction. And it will be, because I'll ask it a math question. It will be like, great math question, Jamie. You know, these are the types of things. And I'm like, stop. I just want to know, is it 5 or is it 7? And so I'll say, please just give me the straight answer. And it will just give me a number. I'm like, thank you.
I've had it do that, like where I'm like, okay, please stop talking to me this way, and no fluff, blah blah blah, and it will still, it has a hard, if it's a more nuanced thing where it's not just like 5 is the answer, it has a very hard time. It still throws it in there a little bit, and I'm like, please.
But you're just a really great person for asking this question. That's all. That's it. I just want to let you know.
I just want to let you know. Anyway, there's those trainers, and they're like, oh, it's not your fault, like, blah. And it's the thing of like like where I always say, like, science doesn't care about your feelings. Well, you got like treats over there.
Do you see what I just got delivered?
Bananas. And
for all of you listening, you can't see this crepe. This is a crepe. What is it, baby? It's yogurt and chia seeds?
That one's raspberry yogurt chia seeds. It's protein. It's Greek yogurt.
Wow. Greek yogurt filled crepes. The crepes are made with whole wheat flour.
That one's a banana. That one is a chocolate peanut butter. Like, it's like a...
What? Chunky monkey crepe? And a high protein Greek yogurt chia crepe with raspberries.
They're both high protein because they both have Greek yogurt in it.
And they both are made with Greek yogurt, so it's high protein and high fiber. Homeschool for the win. Thank you, baby. This is lovely. So I will cheese. Screenshot that one and put it as the thumbnail for the podcast episode. Thank you, baby. Appreciate it. Okay, so ChatGPT trainers.
Science doesn't care about your feelings. That's where I get like that thing. Like with those people,
Yeah.
it's like, science doesn't care about your feelings. Science is important. But then you go to the way on the other side and it's like only science. We don't care about the individuals. So you'll see reels and things talking about the Norwegian 4x4 and saying it's the best thing you could do for your VO2 max. Everybody needs to do this because, longevity and blah, blah, blah. And then the reality is that's not very good advice, because if you've never worked out before and you go and do that, you may die.
Exactly.
You
You might.
You might. And not only that, like I'm a pretty fit person. I would think of myself as pretty fit, right? And if I went and did that and I didn't know anything about fitness and I thought like, okay, that's what I have to do every day to like be like, or not every day, but a couple times a week to be fit. Like that's what I need to do. I give up. Like I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I even wonder, like, again, is it possible? You said you saw a study where they did it correctly, like 4 minutes.
I know.
I want to know what Dr. Stacy Sims says about this.
And so I saw Dr. Rhonda Patrick talking about it on 2 podcasts, and it was in Reels. And one of the Reels, she made it sound like, and this is where I get to where I was saying like I don't like this drives me crazy about Instagram, is because you'll see a reel like that and think like this is what I need to do, blah blah blah. Because she made it sound like in this reel, and I don't know what she's talked about in the podcast. Like there's no nuance there. She probably qualified it a little bit more than they showed in this reel, right? I don't think she was just like everybody needs to do this, but she was saying like how it's the gold standard, and if people want to, increase their VO2 max, this is the best way to do it. And it made it sound like, okay, this is what everybody needs to be doing, kind of thing. But then I saw her in another reel just recently, because I was searching this after. I'm like, where are the reels where she talks about this? And I saw one that was a little bit, maybe it was more recent, and she was saying how that she goes, but not, you don't, it doesn't have to be the Norwegian 4x4. You could do 1 minute on, 1 minute off. You could do Tabata. You could do, because she's like, it's got to be something you can consistently do, but you want to get your heart rate up to improve your VO2 max. I'm like, there you go. That's better advice. Right.
So that's where this is another thing that I said to my client that just asked this question, was like, anything that is named like this, there's lots of things that have those names, like the 4x4, the 30-12-9, like whatever you want. You can't like be too focused on like this exact structure. This is like what's the main idea of what we're doing here? Like it doesn't have to be exactly that. There's lots of ways to do it. There's even one that's like on the Stairmaster, and it's like the 30-20-10. I don't know. Has anybody ever done this? Does it work? And it's like it's just intervals. Like what?
Yeah.
But I get the idea of like, this is exactly what I did with tracking, as I created this fair tracking method, right? And I put everything into a letter. I get the idea of taking something and saying, here's this method. But it's essentially giving people, because people are always looking for boundaries, rules, guidelines, even if you want to be like, you don't need them, but they want them. And so it helps. But what you have to just remember is it doesn't have to be meant to be that. Yeah.
I actually think protocols can be helpful in some ways, because it gives you structure, right? So if you say go 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, it gives you some form of structure instead of just like making stuff up, and it gives you something to hit. Or like when I do my explosive repeats, it's like so many seconds of this and then so many seconds rest, going back and forth. Like the structure definitely helps, because otherwise I would probably just be like, I don't know, it wouldn't. Yeah, I need that structure when I'm doing the exercise or the workout.
Definitely.
But yeah, you can play with it a little bit. It doesn't have to be that exact thing. The goal is to get your heart rate up high in this.
Yeah.
If you want to increase your VO2 max, it's to get your heart rate up into that zone 5. But I don't know if you need to keep it there for 4 minutes.
Yeah. I'm figuring out online. All right. So if my max heart rate is like, let's say it's 190, and I don't really know if that's accurate now, is you have this chest strap, and I don't really know. I know that when I was doing 1 minute rounds on the mat with my Taekwondo master in Korea, that my watch, the highest it went was 199 one day.
Okay.
And I was like, holy mother. I don't know if that was accurate, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say 190. I'm going to pretend that's the absolute max I've ever hit is 190. Okay. 85 to 90% of that is 162 to 171.
okay, that's where I feel like I'm dying. That's where, like
And
once
this
I get
is
past,
where
once I
I
get
would
past
like
165, like that's where I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
But like I would like to know if those numbers are even accurate for me by getting the chest strap, because I've been using my Fitbit, and 162 to 171, I could stay there for 4 minutes based on what my Fitbit's telling me.
Yeah.
161, 162. So that's why I was like, when my client was asking, it was like, it's hard because like I'm trying to imagine the numbers, because I like the 30-second hit, because you're trying to get to your max. You're trying to get to 90 to 95. Like I want you to like hit that max heart rate, but 85 to 90.
When so I actually, I wanted to, like, so last week I was kind of taking like a recovery week, right? So for my cardio, I was kind of all over the place, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try Jamie's kettlebell hit workout. So I did that, and I couldn't get my heart rate up past like 160 doing that.
Were you like dying?
I was going fast. No, I was not dying. No.
What weight kettlebell were you using?
I don't remember.
Try to remember.
It was
Because
probably
I did it with 2 different weight kettlebells, and I felt very different.
I did it with 18.
18 pounds?
Yeah.
So I did it with 13 pounds, and it was like nothing. So what was I doing it with? It's 25 pounds.
But see, like, if I did it with something like that, see, this is why I
It's
don't
too
think.
taxing on your muscles.
Yeah, it's too taxing. So I don't think I would even be able to get my heart rate up. It would be more like my muscles are tired than me being, aerobically tired, right? So, but it's, so, and this is where I'm confused too, because like today, like I said, I was running on the treadmill, and I got it up to like I think I got it up to like 160 at one point, and I didn't feel like I was dying. So I think I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know
It's
where my
interesting
max
because
heart
you have
rate
to.
is.
I really want this thing now, man. I wish I'd ordered it because I could
Yeah.
have it next podcast, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Yeah.
When because it's like trying to figure out the feelings associated with the numbers. So when my Fitbit says 160, 170, it's hard. I'm not, saying that it's easy, but I'm not like dying. But like when it would hit like 190, 195, 199, I would literally, like, I know the guy that I was doing Taekwondo with, and he would go out and then I would go out, we'd rotate. He would collapse on the ground, and like he would joke because his butt would flex. He would like, he couldn't help but to squeeze his butt and like almost go into like a hip thrust, like his whole, and that's not healthy, right? It was like, dude, this is not actually a good thing. You shouldn't be proud. But I couldn't sit down. I would have to walk.
Yeah.
And I was like almost sometimes a little dizzy, and like it was like, it was insane. So I really wonder like how accurate, and that's like max. You can't stay there.
No. Generally, if I get it to like 155, 160, that's where I start getting like uncomfortable, where it's uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable to where like I can't stay there for a long time, but like, because you think of zone 2 as like conversational, right? You can talk, you can whatever. And that once I get there, it gets less conversational. Like that's when I start to get a little, that's probably like because the zones for the strap, the blue is actually 2 and 3. It's not just 2, right?
The blue area for your app is like the actual zones.
It's not zones because it's dynamic, but it would be around 2 and 3. Whereas the green is more 4. So that would be like me in 4, because that's usually when I'm up in that area where I'm like a little uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And then 5 would be where, I can't breathe.
Yeah. Super interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So I say not next week, but 2 weeks from now,
Okay.
we test out the Norwegian 4x4.
Oh my
with
God.
our heart rate monitors.
I need a bike, because I can't do. Well, how am I going to do that? Like I can't do that on anything.
Burpees. Have you tried just doing straight burpees
for 4 minutes?
Just
4 minutes of burpees.
Just to try. Well, yeah, but just to try to get your heart rate up. Just to try to see.
No, because it has to be something cyclical like that, where it's like, because if I do the burpees, it's going to get, my muscles are going to get tired if I do that for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Do you do full push-ups when you do burpees?
Yeah.
I flop myself on the floor.
Well, No.
You know what else is really hard?
That doesn't get my heart rate up either, by the way, because I've done like burpees to try to get my heart rate up, and I can't get it past 160.
You need
And
to get a bag.
I don't feel like I'm dying either.
You need to get a punching bag or a kick bag, and you need to just tear that apart.
Yeah.
Dude, you would love that.
I would love it. I've always wanted that. Yeah. I have been doing like kickboxing, like shadow boxing, you know.
Yeah, it's not as you need
it's not
a bag.
the same. Yeah. I did do like high knees and try to run as fast as I could, and I could get like going really fast, but when afterwards my elbow hurt because I think I was flinging my arm.
You whipping yourself against the desk.
And so like I don't think it was good for my elbow joint, but that I could get. That was the easiest way to get it up to a high level because because there's no muscles are really getting tired as I'm doing.
Do frog jumps? Have you ever done frog jumps? You all the way down on the ground, all the way up.
All these things that you're talking about, my legs are gonna start to burn.
Let them burn. You're not.
No, but you're not like you need to do something where you can get your heart rate up before like your muscles burn. You know
why though?
Because otherwise that's going to be my limiting factor. I'm like, I can't go any faster. I can't do any more because my legs are burning.
But
it's got to be my throat is burning.
I think it will. It will get your heart rate up higher and your legs won't be eliminated. You're really strong. I don't think for some people, they couldn't they won't be able to thrust their body up in the air, but that will skyrocket your heart rate.
No, it has to be something like that's very low impact. It's got to be something like a bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I've been doing body weight stuff all over like I think the one thing that can get up okay, but still like I can't go fast enough is like high ends lateral skaters, jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I'm going like I just.
What about just go? I mean, is it because it's cold? You can't just go out in the front and just sprint. There's a hill. Didn't you say you sometimes pull Jules up a hill or something? Can you just sprint up that hill in your neighborhood?
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Problem solved.
It's over. Do you want me to do that for 4 minutes?
Well, no, not yet, but maybe soon. No, the goal is to try to see if you can you think your max heart rate, you put 200. Let's see how high you can actually get it.
I need a bike to be able to do it.
How high you can actually get it. So then we can figure out what 85 to 90% of that is.
Yeah.
And then, because that's what I want to know what my actual max is.
Yeah.
Because if this is accurate, if a 190 is my actual max and 160 to 170 is my 85 to 90, I think I could do that for 4 minutes. And then I would like to see how that feels.
Yeah, if it's 160, I could do it for 4 minutes. If it's like 180, I cannot.
Right. So that's where it's like,
yeah.
That was like when my client asked this in the call, it was like, and I'm like processing all these things. Well, first of all, like 85 to 90 is pretty high, but if you don't really know your max, if you're trying to get to 85 to 90, but 4 minutes is a long time. Sounds like good intervals.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting.
I'm laughing at myself because I didn't always hear what you were saying because I was thinking about something else. So hopefully
I'm already aware of this dynamic.
But because I was picturing me running up, can I run up the hill? Is there a hill to run? Could I do that? That's what my brain was doing as you were talking.
I thought you said that there was like a hill that sometimes when you pull Jules in the wagon.
It is. It's like the third. I could get. I could, it's just. I don't know. I want to go over there and do it. But there's one behind. I can do that one. There's not a lot of. There's no cars. There's no.
What about your sled?
There.
I feel like pushing your sled would bring that heart rate up.
Oh, it does, but.
There's still snow.
It's snow. I kept pulling and I'm pulling it. I can't. Do you ever like pull something and you're pulling so hard and then it's all slippery? So I just slide down and I just kept falling and I got pissed off. And so then I just made like a trail with the sled. And then I kept going back and forth and it was still, but then it would go off the trail. So I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to run. So then I sprinted back and forth a bunch of times, but then it got icy. So then I was sliding all over the place and I'm going to break my ankles. And I'm like, yeah.
I just want my heart rate to be higher.
Exactly. That's how But maybe you're right. Maybe I can go sprint up that hill. It's a long hill. It's not just like,
I just want you to. I want you to warm up. All right.
Mhm.
And you get warm, whatever you got to do, jog over there. And then I want you to get to the bottom of that hill and I want you to go from 0 to 60. And I don't want you to stop unless you're like, I want you to be like, but you don't stop unless your body like stops you.
And I'm
And then I
gonna
want you
laugh
to
at all
check
the
your heart rate.
neighbors watching me like, what's that girl doing?
That's your problem.
That's my problem. I care what people
I
think.
thought about you yesterday
Yeah.
because I texted you my kids got into the school that we've been on the wait list for a year. They didn't get in last year, they got in.
Uh-huh.
And I also told you that throughout the year, I have called the school enough times that I've gotten to know the data clerk by name, and I don't even have
Yeah.
to tell her who I am when I call. She knows my kids' names, she knows their ages, she knows the grades, she knows everything.
Mhm.
But I think I've been good enough about like I've called enough that she knows me, but not so much that she wants me to stop. She's like
Mhm.
always like, seriously, do not ever hesitate to call me. I am super happy to help you. And I'm always like very thankful and very like whatever. When I saw that they got in, I picked up the phone and I called her just to tell her.
Yeah.
This person I've never met in my life was like, oh my God, we got our offers, we got in. And she was like, yay! She like screamed on the phone.
That's
And I
funny.
thought about you because I was like, because I've called you or like expressing frustration about your kids with something. And I was like, what place is this? And I just like called them, but they were closed. And it was the wrong place anyway. And I was just going to be like, hey, we need to solve something.
And I would do that. Yeah.
And you're like, I need to run up a hill. There's people in houses nearby.
No, I can do that. The funny thing, you know what's really weird? And I don't understand myself because if I really think about it, I actually don't care what other people think.
I know. That's why you're so weird.
I don't care because I like myself, so who cares if they do, right? Like, I know I'm a good person. I know I have good intentions, blah, 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 whatever. So I don't really care what other people think unless it's like somebody that I care about. Like, I care what you think. I care what my husband thinks. I care what my children think. Like, I care about what those people think. But like strangers or random people or people I don't like, I don't care. So why am I this way? I don't know. Like, why do I have social anxiety? I don't know. I know that when I call people and do things like that, it has to do more with, I don't want to bother you. I hate bothering people more than me being like nervous.
This is what I like ChatGPT for. I like it for stuff like this. Cause I would like to like type that in and be like, what do you think? You know, and it makes these connections. And ChatGPT has diagnosed weird things with my children that even the doctors were like, it's not this. So, but anyway.
But it will just tell you what you want to know also, what you want to think. So you can't trust it.
No, but you can't really. But if you say like, here's this like really interesting psychological scenario, what could this be? It could like narrow it down. It'll build you up first, but it can be accurate. So anyway.
All right.
Do you have anything else?
I do.
You do? Great. I have Q&As. So why don't you go and then I have some questions that I can go through.
Okay. First off, I'm very hungry. And when I saw your plate of food, it made me want to eat. So normally I have eaten a snack by now. And so what I decided to do for this week is to prepare. I think next week I'm going to go into a class. So this week I'm just like preparing for it. And what I'm doing is I am structuring my meals a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because normally I eat like all day long. Like it's like an hour or two in between each meal. Like I was just like
it's a minute in between.
A minute sometimes.
Kind of try to do better.
Because I'll just be in the kitchen, just, there's something there. I want to, like, I'm always snacking. I'm always eating, whatever. So I'm going to.
Are you just tracking that as you go?
Like, I don't normally, you mean like when I am tracking, I will track it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't always track. So, I'll put like three Brazil nuts, whatever. So anyway, yeah, I eliminated this morning snack because normally I eat at 7 a.m. for breakfast and then a snack at around like 10:30. Then I eat lunch around like maybe like 1, I don't know. And then I just continuously eat, right? in between there. Like that's like a major snack, but there's probably little bites in between too. So now I'm going to eat at 7 for breakfast, which takes me it's a little after 7 usually. It takes me a little while to eat it. And then probably lunch around 11:30ish, 12. So it'll be like around like 4 hours in between.
That's a lot of hours.
So long.
It's a lot more than 1 minute. You should start slower.
You gotta work up to 2 minutes first.
Yeah.
And then
the Norwegian 4x4, 1 meal every 4 minutes.
Yes. And then you take a 3-minute break.
Right.
And then I am gonna eat like one snack, so like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then dinner is usually like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So that's the schedule I'm gonna stick to.
And do
I'm
you
eating
eat
like
after dinner?
I don't normally, unless there's something particular. But normally by then I've already filled up because I've just continuously ate. So like, I'm good now. But anyway, I'm going to structure it like that, and it'll probably put me in like a slight deficit. So like yesterday, I ate like 1,850 calories by doing that. But I am eating like bigger meals, making sure I'm eating enough during those meals. But then next week, I'll do the same thing, but be more into a calorie deficit. But I think that'll help me because if I eat at 10 every day, I want food at 10. But if I stop eating at 10 every day, I won't be craving that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll help.
I think the structuring is big. Like intermittent fasting was such a big deal. Time restricted feeding is really what it is. It's not really fasting when you're just like skipping breakfast. It's not really. But what I do like about that kind of structure is I feel more full because I'm eating bigger meals in a smaller time frame. And for you work out so early, but I can delay my breakfast a little bit. So if I don't eat breakfast till like 10 a.m. and then I stop eating at like dinner time, that works really well.
It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of, so for me, I need to recover, to feel like I'm like relaxed. I need to do something that helps me do that. Whereas like, and if I go on my phone and do Instagram, it in little bits of that doesn't actually help me do that. And I feel like that's what's like kind of like those little bits of snacking. It's like I'm snacking, but it's not really making me full. It's not really helping me feel better or whatever. Whereas if I like actually like sit down and pay attention to something, like if I'm going to watch like a TV show or a movie or something like that, it actually does help me relax and feel better. And I think it's because it's not like boom, 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 constant.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, I just thought of it.
Yeah, it's like those little snacks that aren't really intentional that you're just grabbing at. They don't actually, like, they're not actually worth it. Like you talk about with like your Italian dinner when you sit down and you just like focus and eat it. It's like so worth it. And that's like, like little Instagram scrolls. They feel better in the moment. You're getting a dopamine hit, but they don't actually provide happiness or make you feel more calm.
No.
Whereas like sitting down and watching an episode of a TV show you're really invested in does.
It does.
I love that analogy.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah.
So intelligent. I wanted to
I didn't say that. I said it was one good idea.
I wanted to ask you, what are you going to do for your are you going to do it? You're obviously going to do the fat loss challenge with everyone. Or when are you going to start that? And do you have any goals? Anything like that?
I don't think I'm ready to start next week. I might. Okay. I'm going by how I feel, but I'm definitely getting my mind set. So you've probably seen me posting about this. I'm creating a guide. I'm calling it like a rotational meal strategy or whatever, but I'll probably think of something more clever by then. But I'm creating basically a list of 300, 400, and 500 calorie meals that have like 30 or 40 grams of protein in each of them. And my thought process is, because one of the things that's keeping me from wanting to do a cut at all is I just don't feel like tracking. I still am feeling that way. And so if I just have these meals that I know already meet those guidelines, I can just have those. Like if I know I'm having, 3 400 calorie meals, that's 1,200 calories with 40 grams of protein each. That's 120 grams of protein. So I know if I have a list of like, here's these 3 or 4 meals that meet that, and I'm just going to pick one from the list to eat. I don't even have to track them to know that that's what I'm getting. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I can have a couple of snacks that meet, so that's 1,200 calories. Let's say I go up to 1,500 or 1,600, a couple of snacks that fit the bill and, and add in and have like the same thing on like a snack menu. I wouldn't have to pick up my phone all day if I stuck to that menu, right?
Yeah.
Or another idea I could do is I could just stick to the menu for the main meals, and then I can track them so easy. I could just create the meals in MyFitnessPal. It takes literally 1 minute to choose the meals and put them in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can, instead of planning out the snacks, just kind of have whatever I want, but track it along the way. Because when you don't have any plan and you're just kind of winging it, that's when people feel like they're slave to their phone because they don't know what to eat. And so they're building meals while they're tracking and weighing and trying to figure it all out. And it's like a lot. And so, yeah, so I'm kind of I've been like experimenting with different recipes. And like, even just now, my daughter was asking me if I wanted crepes. And in my mind, I was like, that's not going to be 40 grams of protein. Like, she's so cute. She's like, it has protein and fiber. But I was like, girl, the amount of protein that I require per meal, it's annoying.
Yeah,
So,
it's annoying.
but I was like, no, I told myself in my head, I was like, Jaime, say yes. Like, it's not a big deal right now. Like, it's not a big deal ever, right? So you can always enjoy the crepes that your daughter makes. But especially right now before I'm on a cut, it's like, just enjoy the crepes and like, it's not a big deal. You'll fill in your protein the rest of the day and you're not really tracking anyway. So, so I'll start soon. I don't think I'll wait until the 23rd. I might start before then. Actually, I'm a liar. I'm going to Maryland the 10th through the 17th of March.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way I'm going to cut at that time. So yeah, no, I'm not going to start earlier. I'm just getting in the mindset. I'm getting warmed up and I'll start with everybody. Yep. Just decided that now. I looked over my calendar and I was like, oh, I'm traveling.
I'm going to take it seriously this year. So because of that, I'm going to have a lofty goal. That way I feel up, right?
Yeah. Oh, you asked about a goal. I don't know if I necessarily have one. I'd like to go below with 130 again, but maybe even lower.
How much do you weigh now? Do you know?
Lower. My body's comfy weight is around 133. When I'm doing everything just kind of averagely, when I'm losing it a little, it goes up to like 135. But that last time when the pictures I've been posting and stuff, I had hit like 140. Mm-hmm. And then when I did a cut, I got down to 129. Mm. And so being that I'm not starting at 140, I'm starting around 133, 135, depending on the day. I wonder if I could get into the mid 120s again. That would be crazy. So that would be cool to see, but I'm not holding myself super accountable to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to take it more seriously this year. So I have a lofty goal of a 118 is what I want to get to.
And what are you now? Like 123?
126. Okay. 126. That's like 8 pounds. I think I'm 126. It's kind of been going all over the place. It was like 127 at one point last week. But this morning when I weighed, it was like 126. Or no, it was even a little less than that. It's somewhere around there, Anyway, so yeah. So that would be like 8 pounds, which is a lot. I think the most I've ever lost in like a full like cut phase was 7 to 8 pounds, but I weighed more at that time. And that was when I was trying. Like I've lost more weight than that, but it wasn't like a full, like an actual.
What are your calories going to be?
Cut. They'll probably start at like 1650 as like, I don't do like a range really. It's more like, this is the most you can eat. Don't go past this number. So I'm going to really aim for like 1600, but like, don't go past 1650 kind of.
Yeah.
And then, what was I saying? Anyway, I got distracted. So you asked me what my calories were. Okay. So yeah, 1600, but then they'll probably go down as the cut goes along. Like, so I'll stay there for like 4 weeks, see what happens and blah, blah, blah. Once it like starts to feel like nothing is going on or I'm adapting, I'll start lowering them more. And I need to do this. So to make me take this like seriously, I need to have like a number to hit. And I also need to have a time frame, because if I don't have a time frame, I'll be like, oh, this week is like, it's fine. I'll make it up next week or that kind of thing. Whereas if I have a time frame, I'll take it more seriously, because I'm like, no, you have to do this now. There's no other time to do it. So I'm thinking like normally I don't like going past 12 weeks, but 8 pounds is a lot. So I'm probably going to do like 14 weeks. And that will be my time frame.
Dang, that feels long.
It does. It does.
I'm going to do the 8 weeks, the 4-week challenge, and then the 4-week challenge to follow. And I'm planning on having that be it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to lose, and I don't have any to lose technically, right? Like I'm fine health-wise. Vanity, would be cool, but I also you start to get to a point where you're like really happy with your progress, and you're like, why would I keep like I'm good? You know what I mean? Like I don't.
That's how I felt last year. That's why it was like, whatever. And this year, I think I got that, like I said, I'm treating it like a challenge, and I got that thing in my head. So it's not even about, do I need to do this? Is it going to do anything for me special? It's more like, can I hit this goal kind of thing? And that's why it's more like, yep, I'm going to take it more seriously.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do 1,600. I could start with like 17 or 18, and then pull down, but I think I want to go right into
I don't like
I'm
doing
going
that.
right into it. And I'm going to do my favorite strategy that I did in my last cut that worked really well is the unlimited protein and unlimited raw veggies, like raw veggies. So I combine those two things and I hit the 1,600, but if I'm still hungry and there's a protein amount I have to hit within that's pretty high, I usually give myself like 140 grams of protein or something. So if I hit the 1,600 and I'm still hungry, I can eat as much as I want outside of that, as long as it's pure protein or just like raw red peppers. You know what I mean? Or like cucumbers. So not all raw veggies, but specific ones.
Okay.
And that worked really well because I could continue eating. There was no rule of like, you have to stop eating, but I had things that like, that I could munch on that, were in this allowed category. And it worked really well. So
Good.
I'm going to do it again and see how it works. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited to eat less and feel miserable.
I am
You want to
too.
hear something funny?
Yeah.
I'm flexing my traps right now. I'm like trying to. It's kind of hard to do. I was with my daughter I was with my daughter in the gym this morning. And I was teaching her how to do rows, and as they were getting a little heavier, she was shrugging a little. So I was showing her about like what happens. I was like, when you're doing rows, whenever you're pulling something towards you, if it starts to feel heavy, these muscles here, the trap muscles, they're already like kind of strong and they're kind of prominent, and they tend to pick up the work, and they do it by like this shoulder shrugging. I was showing her, but I was like flexing. I was like, you see these muscles? And I was like doing that. And her eyes got all wide, and she was like, oh, and I was like, do you want muscle like traps like that? She's like, no, I hate it when people have traps. I was like, exactly. I was like, put your shoulders in your back pocket and leave them there. Otherwise, you're going to have big muscly traps.
That's funny.
Yeah. That was it.
I don't mind. As long as they're not ginormous. I think traps look good.
Yeah, like you get a little definition or whatever, but I don't know.
Not when they're like you don't like, do you ever see the guy where it looks like
yes.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a guy inside of another guy. Have you seen
exactly.
That?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
You see the collarbone and the traps look like his head is inserted inside. It's so weird. Anyway, I had a bunch of Q&A, but we can hit it next week.
Oh, okay.
No,
you think
it's 53 minutes, bruh. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like for people's listening pleasure, we don't need to drag it on. An hour is a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening. If you feel really disappointed by the time of this podcast, please let us know below. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Wait, almost.